Hey, Steve Magnante here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a 2001 Corvette Roadster. Now you gotta remember, this is an example of the C5 Corvette family, which actually was very different from the C4 that came before for many, many reasons. Beyond that, the key thing with this is that the engine is up front. Modern Corvettes, of course, the engine's in the back, but for the C5s, the engine's still up front, but the transaxle is in the back, which helped to give these things about a 51% weight distribution front to rear. So these are actually very good handling cars. To make that happen, the wheelbase was enlarged by 10 inches from 96 to 105 inches to allow more room for the transaxle at the back and also improve handling and ride characteristics with a longer wheelbase on the Corvette. So these are great riding cars, and again, just a nice example right here of a good clean example of the Gen 5 Corvette in the flesh, as it were, or in the fiberglass, as it also is. So this is a Roadster, clearly, and this one has an automatic. And again, with that said, traditionally in Corvette land, before the C5 family, the transmission was under the tunnel right there, but now with the automatic transaxle located in the back right here, we had X-ray vision, we'd show you, but with that said, these are very advanced vehicles, and for their day, they were really almost like space shuttles for the road. I own a C4, which was a big deal in its day when it came out in 1984, but these were a leap ahead of even those. Now this one here has the polished wheels, which basically were a $490 option, and we see them on this one here. They're good looking wheels. And let's have a peek at the LS1 under the hood of this one here. And of course the LS1 is the miracle motor of the 2000s, if you will. General Motors, all aluminum, small block. These have 345 horsepower, and they were just getting started with performance and power from the LS1. But again, light engine, excellent cylinder heads, good power characteristics, and fantastic engine. Again, it's all aluminum, it's up here, and unlike an iron block 350 of the earlier days, all that weight is not going to bite front end weight characteristics and handling, so it's a good thing. Four-wheel disc brakes, of course, on this one here, 17-inch or 18-inch wheels on these all the way around. And let's pop the hood and have a look at that LS1. Before I lift the hood on this, let's have a peek at the final iteration, the C5 Corvette with pop-up headlights. C6 will replace this with a fared-in plexiglass headlight cover, but again, these are very aerodynamic and more pleasant to look at, really. Of course, at full speed, with the headlights up, it does reduce top miles per hour by maybe 3 miles an hour or something like that. So instead of 130, 40, 50, might be 5 miles an hour slower with the headlights popped up. But with that said, let's look at the LS1 motor under the hood, 345 cubic inches. And here it is right here with the plastic intake manifold right there. It's basically a barrel ram, and this bank of cylinders is fed by that row of runners right there, which enhances the low-end torque. Here's the centrally located throttle body, right? Of course, electronic fuel injection, which was the rule in Corvette land from about 1984 onward. And great example, really clean and tidy underneath the hood. And just a great example of the breed. And it's wonderful to see that it's not been modified with a supercharger or anything like that, but just a classic move with these cars. Let's look inside and have a peek at a couple of things that are worth noting. First up, you could get a manual transmission in these cars, but this one is loaded with the 4-speed automatic transaxle. Remember, it's in the back of the car. And here's the shifter right here. 1, 2, 3 overdrive right there. So in overdrive, that gets excellent fuel economy. If you're nice to it, you might see something approaching 25 miles per gallon. Aerodynamics on these things are fantastic, and of course the rolling resistance is, far reduced versus most other vehicles. And here's the Z51. This thing right here is a reference to the Sport Handling Suspension Package, which I think was $350 or so on top of the base price. And these things already handle incredibly, but with that said, the Z51 allowed them to handle even better. Z51, of course, is a legendary number in C4 land and C5 land. It just means basically stiffer suspension, better handling, and there's nothing not to like about that. So let's have a look here at the speedometer. It goes to 200 miles per hour. It's not digital, it's analog, and it's amazing to see that. On the right road, you might go 150, 160, something like that. I wouldn't try that on a public road, but 200 miles per hour is not optimistic in the right situation. And of course, active handling, which was standard features on, you can defeat it if you want to by pushing that button, but active handling was standard equipment on the C5 Corvette. and of course a CD player, something I love. It's hard to find a new car these days with a CD player. I have about, I don't know, 25 years worth of CDs I've collected over my lifetime, and it's hard to find a new car with a CD player capability. This one has CD player capability, so if you want to listen to your Prince Little Black Corvette, not red, ha ha ha, and you could get a kick out of that. So again, automatic transmission, cruise control, air conditioning, of course, power steering, all the good stuff that you have to have in a Corvette these days, or any car these days. They're baked right in from the factory. Now, something kind of cool, speaking of baking things in, the SPID, or the Service Parts Identification Decal, tells you the DNA of the car and what is baked into it, literally, by the chefs at General Motors. And we'll take a peek here. We'll open the glove compartment door, and down here we'll see all the codes for all this guide right here. You get a close-up of that, and you'll see the code for the polished aluminum wheels, and G92 is the performance axle package, $300. Now, one thing we don't see on that is RPO R8C, which entitled the buyer to go to the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and take delivery of the car brand new for $300 extra at Bowling Green. So that's kind of a cool little touch. We don't see it on the SPID here, but something like 500 people, buyers, went for the Corvette factory or Corvette Museum delivery, which is certainly possible. And I think even today you can get your Corvette, you can pick it up at the Corvette Museum for a little extra fee. It's up to you to get the car home, which is to say drive it home. So to learn more about this 2001 Corvette C5 Roadster, check out the High Octane Classics website and look at the photo gallery.